The Eagles face the Saints Sunday, but a lot of attention is on the future of Nick Foles. The reigning Super Bowl MVP has won 4 straight playoff games, but he can become a free agent at the end of the season unless the Eagles give him $20 million. Bleacher Report says it will be a free-for-all for Foles in the offseason, and an anonymous exec said to expect a, quote, Reggie White-like pursuit. White was a highly coveted free agent when he signed with the Packers back in 1993. So, Shannon, what should the Eagles do?
The Eagles should, and what I believe they will do, is let him go. But Nick Foles is not Reggie White. Skip, you covered Reggie White. I was in the league when Reggie White played. And
your brother was...
He was played with Reggie. Reggie got there in 92. Reggie was the preeminent defensive player in all of football. Before going to Green Bay, he had gone to 7 straight first team. He was 7 times first team All-Pro. He was Defensive Player of the Year. He also was Defensive Player of the Year at the age of 38.
Okay.
Let that sink in. Skip, look, Nick Foles has had an unbelievable run in the playoffs, but there's a reason why they rushed Carson Wentz back in September. Nick Foles did not look good. And if I'm a team, and I know some team is going to sign Nick Foles, Skip, but I would be leery. I would be very, very cautious of a quarterback that's been in the league this amount of time and has only had success in one place. Because he did go other places, and he did not enjoy the level of success that he's enjoyed for, especially because even when we say success, Skip, he had a great year. You mentioned that year he was 27-2 under Chip Kelly. But we bypassed that because of what he did in the NFC Championship game, the Super Bowl, and then what he did against Chicago. So basically, it's like 3 or 4 playoff wins that shape how we perceive Nick Foles. But I would be very, very cautious. A guy that's only had success in one place, only had success for one guy calling plays for him, I would be leery of that. Now, free agency is really not about being good. Free agency is about being free. Because a lot of times the best players aren't free because their teams have sewn them up. So, do I believe Nick Foles? There's not a whole lot of other options out there. You're going to have Blake Bortles. You'll probably have Brock Osweiler, Teddy Bridgewater. You're going to have...
Josh Rose.
Stop it. Stop it. You're going to have some guys out there that you're like, But people are trying to pretend like he's Pat Mahomes. Nick Foles this year, 9 TDs, 6 interceptions. Can I interest you in that, Jenny? Nah, probably not. So I want you to stop trying to trump. I know what you're trying to do, Skip. You're trying to trumpet this because you're a Carson Wentz hater. You are a zealot hater.
I'm a non-believer.
No, you don't.
Non-believer.
You are. That's what you want to call it? Okay, that's a new term?
Yep.
Okay, you are the biggest non-believer in walk it to him.
That's a nice way to put it.
But I'm here to tell you, he ain't going nowhere. Because they moved heaven and earth to get him, and they're going to move heaven and earth to keep him. And that earth is going to be Nick Foles right up out of there.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So, I'm here to tell you once again, off these quotes that we heard anonymously yesterday, your Eagles are in big trouble. This is classic stuck between rock and hard place. This is classic damned if you do or do not. Because either way they go, they're going to be in some trouble. And this is the classic time in professional sports when you need to step away from something and let go of what you initially thought about a player and say, what are my eyes telling me? What is the truth of what's happening here? Because the truth is, if you stand away and look at not just 2 or 3 playoff games, if you look at Nick Foles' 5 playoff games, they're extraordinary. It's showing you again and again he can play the position for the Philadelphia Eagles better than Carson Wentz can play the position.
Well, Joe Flacco is going to the Hall of Fame if we just looking at the playoffs.
But Joe Flacco had great defense behind him, like great defense. That they had a legacy and a history led by Terrell Suggs of playing high-level playoff defense, and he rode the coattails of that defense. He made some big throws, I give you that. But this is extraordinary what he's doing under difficult circumstances at the highest levels. Because I'm going to remind you again, back in 2013, off 27 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, he played Drew Brees straight up and almost outplayed him because he had a game-winning drive. With 4 minutes left, he hit Zach Ertz with what looked like was going to be the winning touchdown pass in that playoff game. And Drew Brees said, no, give me the ball back, and ate the rest of the clock and set up a walk-off field goal by Shane Graham. And that was that, and they're marching on to greatness. So the point is, Nick Foles, what have you seen? What What am I supposed to do with this? When he beats the defending NFC champs last year in the playoffs, then he torches the #1 defense in pro football, Minnesota's, and then he torches Bill Belichick's defense to the tune of 41 points in the
Tom
Super
Brady
Bowl.
head to head.
Okay? What am I supposed to do with that? What is that? Let that sink in, because after a while, you have to let it go into your psyche and say, wait a second, this guy's just a little better than Carson Wentz is.
What you're doing is that you didn't tell me anything. You see, you go back to 1 year. He had that year with 27-2. What happened the year after that? And the year after that?
Okay,
and the year after
but
that?
I'm showing you what he's done at the highest levels when the stakes are highest.
So the regular season
And
don't
by
count.
the way, the first 2 games of this regular season, they had a slugfest, a defensive battle with Atlanta to open the season, and Nick Foles made the throws that won that game. His stats were no good, but then he goes to Tampa and he put up big numbers, and they got Fitzpatrick because their defense wasn't very good at that point.
So not a deep. So now, so what about what I can?
And that was it. He just played 2 games.
I can use that same argument and says the defense wasn't very good for walking to him.
Well, why is it that these anonymous execs are talking about a free-for-all, and he didn't say, the other exec didn't say it's Reggie White. He said it's Reggie White-like, meaning it's just going to be a feeding frenzy for Nick Foles because he's 6 feet 6 inches tall, and he does it with low charisma, low body language. He doesn't act the part. He doesn't have Carson Wentz's velocity or arm or physicality. He just plays better than Carson Wentz. And furthermore, you got to face up to the facts. Carson Wentz keeps getting hurt. Not little hurt, big hurt.
Andrew Luck kept getting hurt.
Well,
but he's a generational talent, and you don't give up on him.
But he just had a shoulder. Carson's had knees and shoulders and backs. And
Well, I tell you what.
You know,
well, you don't throw with your knees. You put a knee brace on, you'll be just fine.
okay, I don't know. He didn't look just fine this year.
No.
My Dallas Cowboys, would you believe Dak Prescott, who can't throw, beat Carson Wentz twice this year? I don't know how that
you didn't
was.
see that last year.
Huh.
When walking to him, bust his head on Sunday night.
Yeah, when Dak went into that battle with 2 arms tied behind his back.
Oh, why would you do that?
Well,
why would you even say that?
There's no Zeke, there's no Ty Smith, there's no Sean Lee.
If
there's
that
no
guy-
Dez Bryant, who was a shell of himself.
But you don't let other quarterbacks make that excuse.
Well,
I mean,
he
you don't
deserved
need
those excuses.
Why? We don't do excuses here, Skip.
Well, I mean, Philly was about to go on a Super Bowl roll.
Oh, they were
right?
about to, huh?
Yeah.
They were already on it.
Okay, well, they were.
Smack dab in the
Yeah.
middle.
So how many playoff snaps has Carson Wentz taken
None.
so far? None.
Yeah.
So you're going to bet on that? You're going to bet the ranch on that?
Yep.
Really? You're going to
I'm
let
betting the
Nick
ranch to
Foles
get
go?
him.
Okay, you're going to let Nick Foles go to the highest bidder. Remember, they could franchise him. They could keep him extra
No,
option.
they're already $13 million. They're the worst cap
You know?
position
So
of
if
any
you
NFL team.
franchise him, it's going to cost you like close to $30 million to do that.
really.
And then what?
To be backup.
Is somebody going to trade for a franchise-tagged $30 million quarterback and give you draft picks on top of that?
No.
No. It's
So we're going to let
not
you.
likely.
Nick, we appreciate everything you've done. You are great. You're an upstanding young
Yeah.
man. You'll always
So
be
is
loved
Carson
his
Wentz.
best.
Yeah.
But don't walk into him as our guy.
Yeah. Boy, you better hope. You better be rooting like mad for New Orleans.
See, sometimes, Skip,
Yeah.
you have to have your eyes up under control.
Yeah.
That's why when you get in a relationship, they're gonna be pretty. The women coming left and right. But I got you, baby. I chose you. And that's what they tell him walking to him. We chose you. We gave up heaven and earth. I relocated to come with you, boo.
So Foles
I ain't
is
going
the pretty
nowhere.
lady? Okay.
That's what they say. That's what they say walking to him.
Relocate.
They relocated it. Gave up everything. First round to here, first round to there, second. Now they booed up with Carson. So stop it.
So if they don't have a wandering eye, though.
Hey, she pretty. But they come and go.
Yeah, but
So-
if she gets the win, how pretty is
No,
she?
I don't care.
When the stakes are highest, who do you like at quarterback for the Eagles? I'll take Nick Foles every time. Every time. He just makes the
What if that-
throws.
you know what
He
if
makes the reads.
Jenny, if he that good, what Jerry Jones should do is trade for him. If he that good in big time moments,
He just
who
went-
you trust more, Dak Prescott or Nick Foles?
He just went to Chicago and beat the
Who
number
you-
one
I'm asking you
defense.
that
Oh, I'll
question.
take Nick Foles. He's really good.
What? Over Dak?
Well, I can't argue against what he just did.
Dak, you hear that?
Dak hasn't had the
Dak-
opportunity.
no.
Wait, Dak may have the
Yeah,
opportunity.
Dak has had the opportunity.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has. Oh, he had it against Green Bay.
Oh, well, he put up 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns.
He put down that dub.
Yeah, okay.
He took that dub.
Well, Nick Foles didn't take
took the
any.
L.
He's not
He took the
taking
L.
any L's.
No.
He's not taking any L's.
And walking to him
I mean,
when-
Nick Foles has played the highest level of quarter. Wait a second. Last year, he played the 2 greatest back-to-back playoff
Skip,
games we've ever seen.
Skip, I'm not arguing that.
What do you do with that? You just discard it? Go on. Go
We
somewhere else.
compensated him for it.
Really?
Gave him $12 million to be a backup this year.
Wow.
Well, it's interesting you guys are already talking about Dak because that is our next topic.
Thank you.
Will Dak Prescott be
can't
a
wait
Super
for
Bowl
this.
winning quarterback one day? D'Angelo Hall, he's going to help us answer that question.
Debate
next.
the hate.